You're such an asshole.
I'm tired. I ate some food and all the blood is in my stomach. I'm like, oh, I have never wanted to take a nap this much in my life. But that doesn't mean the request at Asshole Consulting slow down. Where if you have a question, I, the world's only professional asshole, and America's older brother extraordinaire, will answer your question as long as you got money. Why? Why, boys and girls? Because he's a whore. And we're all whores. You all just think that your paycheck doesn't mean so. Mr. Cleary, without going in another emotionally supercharged rant like I have for the last several requests, I don't care. I just charge more. Why Americans not just quicker to violence, but capable of it to far greater degrees than most non-Americans are. Look, dude, okay, everyone knows who you are now because you send in the Spurgy requests. And part of being a Spurgy request or being, autistic or Asperger's is you just assume you know everything. There's no awareness of taking in data and information. And all your requests are prefaced with or come part and parcel with a whole set of assumptions and beliefs and things that you think are facts that are just not true. They're wrong. And I don't know if you're kind of like conspiracy people or people who like to believe in Bigfoot because they have nothing else going on in their life. It's all the corporations in the system, man. Like that was like 40 years ago when people were making fun of these washed out, burnt out hippies. Like the baby boomers, like, man, I guess we got to get to work. Yeah, I guess that socialism thing doesn't work. Maybe we shouldn't have spit in the Vietnam veterans' faces. Okay, I'll get a haircut and maybe my wife will kind of groom her hoo-ha a little bit and she'll find her bra that was burned and put it back on. And we'll be adults and we'll get jobs. And then there were the leftover ones like, oh, dude, you're such a sellout, man. And I don't know if you've seen what hippie boomers look like now, but put a fork in them, they're done. And it was in part because they believed in the wrong stuff and in part because they wanted to believe in really cool stuff, dude. Oh my God, dude. Like marijuana's cool. Everyone's out to get you, the corporations. Democrats and Republicans are the same thing, man. Whoa, deep analysis there, Bucky. And you're wrong. Americans are not quicker to violence. We're not even close. Did you look up the crime rate? I went on and looked up the crime rate. I think all the information you have is wrong, wherever you got it. I don't know if it's school. I don't know if you read some really obscure sites. A recommendation to you this is how I became one of the world's greatest economists. I chose. I'm not going to let my politics form my economics, form my reality. It's the reverse. I let reality and economics and numbers and data form my politics. This is why I don't watch news. I don't need low IQ, 85 IQ, complete moron journalism majors at CNN or Fox News telling me what to think. I don't watch these solidly square 101 IQ people with their MBAs telling me about the latest stock market. Oh, the CNBC. And I sure as hell don't let the 32 IQ morons on the Sports Bowl show tell me anything. I consume tons of data when I was younger, when I gave a damn. Tons of data from unbiased resources, not articles, data. This is like when the internet was first coming on. The OECD was like publishing information. You could assume the methodology was pretty cool and clear. And then I said, oh, look at this. This is how it works. And so what I would recommend to you is, I mean, really forget everything you know. I don't think I've seen anyone a higher percent wrong than you on all the premises. And you have the internet. You could look this stuff up. So America is nowhere near the quickest to violence state, but capable of it to far greater degrees than most Americans are. No, No, we don't do genital mutilation here. We're pretty against that. There's places way more violent than us. Just what is it about the America culture? Now you're going to ask me a question based on false premises, so I can't answer it because it's not going to be based on those false premises. Just what is it about American culture seems to bring out the vilest traits possible in a human? We're not, no, not even close. Check out the genocides of Rwanda. Check out the what, I guess any kind of genocide. Check out Nazi Germany killing Jews. Check out the Armenian genocide. Check out, I don't know. We fought a civil war to free slaves. I think we're pretty good people. I mean, we're not as good as Canadians because Canadians are just the best, except for the Scandinavians. Why? They just are the greatest, most well-behaved group of people in the whole world. They're swell. Oh, save us from Russia again. Look at China. Here's hilarious. China is military and economically as powerful as the United States. No, they're not even close. They're not even close. Economically or militarily. Now, China's big, and they're the third biggest military, second biggest economy, but they're not close. Yet the CCP is a highly responsible and diplomatic government that cares deeply about the welfare of its people. Do you know anything about the CCP? Especially now under Xi Jinping. You can make an argument that Deng Xiaoping was trying to, like, oh my God, we got to do something. That Mao guy was nuts. And I forget there was what Xi and Hu Jintao, and I apologize if there's a couple other premiers I'm skipping over, but Xi Jinping is going back old school. It's a dictatorship. They'll lock it down entire. I think what didn't they just shut down China Disneyland because of COVID? They steal like technology, not just from the U.S., but any individual entrepreneur. Have you looked at just how corrupt you thought the U.S. real estate market was corrupt. Have you looked into China's corrupt real estate? Now, of course, that's not all the CCP. That's other people's fault as well. They do not deeply care about the welfare of its people. Not even close. I mean, that doesn't mean they're violent. I think you're conflating good governance, or I would say is bad governance, with violence. And you could have bad governance. That doesn't necessarily mean it's violence. You're not rounding up people and shooting them like they did under Mao Zedong. Today, now they just lock you in your apartment and tell you not to leave. I don't think they're highly responsible. They're not the worst. Definitely not the worst, but they're not highly responsible. They might be diplomatic, and they do not deeply care about the welfare of their people. They'd let them vote for something outside the Communist Party. And deals with foreign nations in a diplomatic, peaceful manner. I'll agree that they're diplomatic and they haven't resorted to war. I'll grant you that. Chinese society is comparatively calm, orderly, and cherishes traditional family values. Well, that's not the CCP. That's Asian culture. You could argue that's tradition. That's any culture that's in first world status. That isn't Western. It's just traditional. You could say the same thing about pretty much all Muslim theocracies. Calm, orderly, and cherishes traditional family values. Yes, but if you're gay, they're going to stone you. Chinese people have a strong degree of trust in one another. They're ethnic. Well, they're not really ethnically homogenous. There's a lot of different ethnicities within China. But, well, I was going to say Asia in general, but man, the Asians hate the Japanese hate the Koreans hate the Chinese, and everybody. They're not it's not all like, oh, you all like each other, right? You're all the same. It's common for Chinese grandparents to live with their adult children and grandchildren. Why? They didn't save up enough money? And that's fine, but what does that have to do with violence? China is how a great power nation ought to behave. All right, you talk to the Chinese. What a wonderful free world they got there. In America, the kids say, F you, mom and dad, go to hell. Right? They do. And kick the parent into the street or a nursing home because they don't want to take care of themselves. Okay. Here would be crime. Here would be violence, although I guess it's not at the end of a gun. Why should you have to take care of your parents? Again, I don't see what this has to do with violence, but China is different. You're supposed to. I do not believe they have a social security system. Many older boomers many years ago voted in Social Security. Now you and me and everyone else pay about 15% of our paycheck to take care of the old people. We've decided to outsource that to the government. You have every right to kick. You shouldn't take your parents in this country. Absolutely not. Especially baby boomers. They've had life on easy mode. They had the longest run of booming economic growth, highest asset increase in prices. And they still couldn't save money for retirement. Are you kidding me? And they get Social Security and Medicare. And kick parent industry to a nursing home because they won't take care of themselves. And overwhelmingly prefer to use brutality and force to steal what they want from other people and nations who did nothing to harm them. What are you talking about? What people are brutally stealing people within? Are you talking about U.S. military? Like when we get attacked, we go send our military in, we kill a bunch of people? Or we charitably? I mean, what resources did Vietnam and Korea have when we went to those wars? Dude, it's all about the oil, man. You do know for a fraction of the price that we spend on the Iraq and Afghanistan war, if you want to throw it in there, a fraction of the price, we could have come up with a synthetic oil industry, and it would have been a lot cheaper. I always get a kick out of it. We can make what was it? Synthetic oil at about $90 a barrel. What is it now? We could. Now, a lot of infrastructure is involved. Multiple trillions, but not as many trillions as we spent on the war of terror. Look, man, I'm glad you listen to some old burnt out hippie who probably, needs other people's money to survive. Some boomer professor. Like, do you guys still believe boomer teachers? You still believe them? You followed their advice, right? Everyone currently in command today followed the boomers' advice. Who's happy? Who's got their act together? No one. Do you think maybe now's the time to stop listening to boomer professors? But, dude, it's the corporations. So now, I don't know. Why is America so violent? It's not. So I go crime rate. This is crimes per 100,000 people. And the higher the number, the higher the crime. U.S., where is it? Saudi Arabia. Okay, let me go here. So you want a low number. So Qatar is the safest with 12.1. United Arab Emirates, 15.2. Taiwan, 15.2. Isle of Man, 19. Oman, 20. Switzerland, 21. They're such good behaved children. Hong Kong, Japan, Slovenia, Armenia, Georgia, pretty safe. Estonia, Iceland, Croatia, Rwanda. They learned their lessons. Saudi Arabia, Czech Republic, Austria, Bahrain, Denmark, South Korea. Oh, there's Finland. Just such good little people. Cuba? Dictatorship. So China, they're 30 per 100,000. They're 108. That's good. You want the higher ranking, the better. And then the United States, Norway, 33. Wow. China's safer than Norway even? In Kuwait? Germany, ja. Es sehr kalt. Wo ist die Russian gas, Hans? Russia, 30. Canada? Canada's even more dangerous than Russia? Where is America? Where's the United States? United Kingdom, Vietnam. Here we are, United States. 47, 48. Let's call it 48. China's at 30. All right, China's safer. All right, well, where do we go? I lost it. So we are 56th out of 136. We're like, roughly half. We're medium ranked. Venezuela has the highest at 84 crimes per 100,000. So they're double us. I mean, Nicaragua, Sweden. Oh, I wonder why Sweden has a higher crime rate. I wonder why that is. You're such good people. Such good people. Sweden, you're such good people. I reckon Sweden are practically tied. Paraguay, Iran, Belize, Ecuador, France, Chile, Mexico, Costa Rica, Ecuador, Uganda, Colombia, Somalia. Oh, Somalia's pretty safe. Interesting. Belarus, Kenya, Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Why is Puerto Rico its own separate thing? Argentina, Bangladesh, boobity, South Africa, and Venezuela. There are a good 55 countries more violent than us. You know, are we the best? No, not by any means. Yeah, we do have crime. But we are not quick to anger and rage. If anything, if in times past, I would have been the people in the man, and maybe I just grew up in Minnesota a little too long, but man, what a bunch of kowtowing pussies. If anything, they should be more violent. But no, we're not the most violent, evil people in the world. We're just not. We're not. And here it's Ethiopia. Yeah, we're not that bad. So I think you'd be happier if you didn't think the whole world was out to get you. Look, the whole world is out to get you, but not in the ways you think. And the enemy is not always America. That's how we kind of got into this problem in the first place. So there you go. Any super chats? It is. I'm trying to help him out. He's obviously on the spectrum. He is. And I don't even know if it's the spectrum. It's like he was given a ton of misinformation, but it's like the 1987 misinformation with your cool hip teacher who had a peace sign, man. He said, "Oh yeah, I'm against war, kids. I'm really cool." That guy, like, that's the information he got this from. It's like, who thinks like this anymore? Rusty fuel tool. Uyghur genocide. Right. Okay. There's an C, but that's not a crime. That's reported in the crime statistics. Ray John too, but MRA say men's mental health is a real issue. Well, yeah, it is. I would say it is too. I'm not necessarily an MRA, but why wouldn't it be? I don't know, until men and women's self-deletion rate is the same. Like we lower men's down. See, now socialists, if we did socialist equality, we say it's not fair that men have a higher self-deletion rate than women. And we'd be perfectly okay raising women's self-deletion rate up to men out of envy and jealousy and hatred. I would be for one to lower it to have everyone better off. But yeah, it is a real issue. You literally took away their reason to live past 2.5 generations. And at least in the West, you tell them how bad they are and how, and you treat them like second-class citizens. Yeah. Wisdom Vision Productions. I disagree with you, Cappy. All the obese, smelly people makes this place super violent to the senses. Yes, but they can't throw a punch. And if you look at it, crime rates have gone down. I know we got a lot of younger audience. You weren't around in the 70s. I was. The 70s were horrible. The crime rates were horrible. Me and Myron over on Fresh and Fit were talking about it. Yeah, the 70s were. Go look up the crime rate. Go look it up in the United States over time. I don't think we've been this safe since like the World War II vets came back and said, "Don't piss us off." I was like, okay. Scott Ludke, $2. Has nothing to say. Thank you, Scott. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, Ronald Reagan was the problem. Oh, you mean the fact now I finally get Christmas gifts? And my parents both have jobs and we're doing well? Oh, yeah, that Ronald Reagan sure was a bad guy. Oh, teachers are scum. All right, see you guys later. Hey. Look, okay. Going to be very Christian now. If you guys would kindly subscribe to Masculine Geek. Why would I subscribe to Masculine Geek? There is no reason you would subscribe to Masculine Geek. It's a horrible podcast with stupid morons running the show. But they're kind of special need. They're like special need Gen Xers. They're the Gen Xers who like didn't really quite make it, you know? They're running around reading books on a perfectly nice day. They own cats. look, you know, I ask you to be charitable and kind with your money. This isn't going to cost you anything. Go subscribe to Masculine Geek. Tune in if you want to feel like, God, yeah, if you think you got problems, go tune in to Masculine Geeks. Like, oh my God, look at these morons. Oh my God, I'm so happy I have all my chromosomes. Oh boy. And then you can watch them. Dude, I rolled a natural 20 and then she let me touch her boobs. All right, see you guys later, Toodles.